Hello everybody and welcome to Age's Cozy Crochet Corner, where today on the corner I just want to show you a simple join for granny squares. Now these ones are African flowers back here, these are sunbursts, and these are regular granny squares. As long as you have a square, it doesn't matter what type, you'll be able to join them together using a simple method. Now, I make a lot of granny square sweaters, so I like to use just a basic join for most of them because I'm doing a lot of joining. So I want to show you how to join them together, and I call when we make them in rows like this panels. So I'll show you how to make them like this and join them here, and then we'll join them um, to another panel. So let's go ahead and begin. I think I'll start with the regular granny square and show you there. Now normally I would use red to join my granny square because it is red, but just to show you a different color contrast so you can see the stitches, I'm going to use this blue. But normally whatever color is on the outer side, unless we're looking for a different look, that is usually what I would use. And I'm going to start with 2 blocks. Now these are the front side of the blocks. I want to make sure the front sides are facing each other, which means this is the back side and this is the back side. I'm just using a 4mm hook, but you want to use whatever hook size you already are using to make your blocks. And I'm going to start right into the corner. So I'm going into the corner of 1 block, and I'm going to go into the corner on the back one. Now, joining this way with simple single crochets is just that, very, very simple. We're going to start in the corner. I'm going to add my yarn on and pull through. Okay. I'm going to make a single crochet just to lock that on there. But I'm also going to go back into that same spot and make a single. Okay, no. Now, going to go. It's annoying already. Okay, so now that we have both of our granny squares sitting together, I'm going to go through the corner of both of them. So, in the front and in the back, add my yarn on, pull through, and then we're just going to chain 1. Now I'm going to go right back into this corner and make a single crochet. Now this end right here, you can hold that alongside and work over that as you go. But see how we have little clusters here? There's 1, 2, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets together. It's a cluster. I'm going to go through this one, the first one, and then go through the first one in the back. And grab my yarn and make a single crochet. And I'm going to go through the second one in that cluster here and the second one in the back together. I make a single crochet. Now the third one here and the third one in the back. Grab our yarn, come up and make a single crochet. So that is how we're going to join, just using simple single crochets all the way down the side. So again, we have our clusters. So we have 3 double crochets here and 3 double crochets in the back, and we'll be making sure they line up, and we'll go through both of them. Now this granny square does not have a chain 1 in the middle. If you are making granny squares and you have the chain 1 in the middle of your clusters, then you want to join in that chain area as well. But with your granny squares, all of your stitches should match up. Whatever you have on one, you should have on the other, and all you're doing is matching your stitches and making a single crochet. And you want to do this from corner to corner. So I started in one corner, and I'm going to go all the way to this next corner coming up. Matching. Now when I get to this corner, I want to go into the French corner, and we're going to go into the corner in the back, and we're going to make a single crochet. And cut our work. And we'll just grab our yarn and pull it through. Let's open it up. And of course, normally you would not see any of the stitches, but I wanted to use the blue so you can see it. And that would be your join. Now, once I start building like this, I consider these panels, okay? So this would be a panel of 2. We're going to add another one to that, okay? So remember, when we're adding, this is the front of our work. We want to put our front of our granny squares or our blocks. They're different types of squares facing each other. I'm going to start in the corner, and we're going to go in the corner here. Get our yarn. Add on and chain 1. And I'm going to go right back into that same corner, both of them together, and make my single crochet. And now I'm going to match up and single crochet all the way from this corner to the next. That's all it is. Single crochets, lining them up. And if you can't go through both of them at one time, if you look like this or hold it like this, you can kind of see the stitches right at the top. Without having to worry about which one you're going into. You can see them right at the top. Or you can hold it like this, or you can go through the first one and then go through the second one. Go through the first one and then open it up and go through the second one. Whichever way is best for you. I'm sure once you get a hang of it, you'll be breezing through both of them with it closed too. Now this is the next corner. We're going to go into both corners together. Grab our yarn, pull up, make our single crochet, cut our yarn, and open that up. Now we have 3 joint together. So I have a panel of 3. It's just like think of it like that, panels of 3. So when I'm making a sweater, I might say, oh, I need a panel of 4. So I would put 4 together like this, one sitting on top of the other. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to join 3 more. Okay. I'm going to join 3 more, and then I'm going to show you how to join going this way. Because once you learn how to build them, it doesn't matter how many you need in that row, or like I like to say panel. It doesn't matter how many you need in that row. You would just build as many as needed for that row. So I'm going to join these 3, and then we'll come together and we'll look at how we're going to join them up the sides. Okay. All right. Okay, so I have put together 2 panels with 3 in it. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And now let's see how we're going to join them. The join here is pretty much like the join here. The only difference is we're going from one block to another. So let's see how that looks in action. So we're going to fold these over. This is the front. This is the front. Remember, when you're joining, the fronts are facing each other. So I'm just going to start in one corner. And I'm going to go into that corner. And I'm going to go into the corner behind it and grab my yarn. Just like before, add my yarn on, chain 1, and I'm going right back into that corner and placing a single crochet. And we will go matching up everything down this whole line from this corner to this corner, just placing our single crochets. Now we're going to match them all the way down. And as I'm adding this all the way down here, just want to note these blocks. All of these ones were not blocked. Blocking is very, very awesome when you're joining your grannies because it's going to make your join all your blocks exactly the same size, make them nice and square. So I totally support blocking. These are just some random squares that I had left over from previous projects. Always tend to make more squares than I need for projects. Kind of like keepsake reminders. I'll probably one day join them all into a blanket. Okay, so let's see, we're on our last three. Now I want to go into this corner right here. Uh, that's the first block we're on. We're going to go into this corner and we're going to go all the way through so we come out on the opposite side and make our single crochet. Now I'm going to skip over this joint area right here. This is where we join two blocks together here and where we join two blocks together here. I'm going to skip over that. And I'm going to go from this corner right to this corner on this block and join. So I'm going to leave the join area alone. So we're going from this corner right to the corner on our next block, and we're going to just keep going down. And we'll just keep going down. Always making sure we're matching, we're staying even. Now, when I attach my hoods, there's always cases where I'm putting more more stitches in the, scrap that out of me saying it. So we're on our last three blocks here. I'm gonna go in here and go in here. All right. So we made it all the way here. And just like here, we're going to jump from this corner to this corner. So let's go in this corner and make sure you do go in that corner, because once you've done the third and the cluster before the corner, it does feel a little snug, like, okay, I'm good. No, make sure you go into both corners. And then we're going to go from corner and jump to our next block and go into the next corners. And then we go right into the first one here, cluster here, and the first one here. Single crochet, and we make sure they stay lined up all the way down. Now when you're working with granny squares, it's easy to go cluster to cluster. Right? When you are putting together blocks that are done and single crochets on the outside, or say double crochets on the outside, then you want to make sure, again, you stay consistent and you're matching that up all the way down. This is probably just the easier of the two because you're looking at it in groups of threes already. And we're almost to the corner. We're going to make sure we go into the third one here and the third one in the back and in the corner. Cut our work and pull through. Now that is how we're going to join going up this way. Okay, so once you learn how to add each block by one, if it calls for a panel of 5, then you just put 5 blocks together. And when you're adding this panel to this panel, it's going to be the exact same as here. Start in our corners, hit the corner, go from corner to corner, and keep going up. Doesn't matter how much you're adding on, it's not going to change. Again, this is a simple single crochet method. There are other methods, and I'll take my time to kind of show you some other ones. But this is, like I said, the sunburst, and you see this one ends on double crochets. So instead of going from the clusters of double crochets, you would just insert in the corners, and you make sure you're still going from corner to corner, and you're going to work it from this corner to this corner, and you're just going to add this together, going from double crochet to double crochet, just single crochets. All right. And if we were making a pocket, and you know our pockets, we just have one arm, well, one slot open for our hand. We're going to go from corner all the way down, just like I showed you, single crochet. But when we get to our next corner, we'll put 2 single crochets in that corner, just so we have that space to keep going around and it be continuous. We get to this corner, put 2 into this corner, and go all the way around and stop here, so it would be open just there. Okay, so that's when joining a pocket, you want to just keep going all the way around. That is it on joins, even with the African flower. I love this one. And this one ended off with half doubles, and it'll be the same thing. We're going into each corner and we're going to single crochet all the way down, always making sure our front pieces are touching and our back areas on the outside. Line them up and go ahead and single crochet on down. But again, I will show you other methods. This is just my main one because I make a lot of sweaters and I try to keep it simple on the joining points. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I also have a tutorial on how to make the granny squares with no chain in between. That's how I make them for my sweaters, and also how to weave in your ends on your granny before you even begin placing them together. All right, so as always, if you have any questions, I'll see you in the comment section, and see you next time on Age's Cozy Crochet Corner.